I have no idea what it is about December that just hits me with this constant feeling of overwhelm, but it seems to happen every year. I'm not sure if ADHD burnout just tends to happen around this time for everyone afflicted, but for me, it never fails. The hustle and bustle of holiday shopping, decorating, wrapping, and my least favorite, Spirit Week, tend to really overwhelm me. Not necessarily because I dislike these things, but it is a lot to manage. 2024 has been an interesting year. I have discovered that I have ADHD this year. And yes, I am a smidge self-diagnosed, like a lot of women my age, but I have communicated with my doctor about it, and she also agrees, and we've implemented some supplements that do seem to help. But my brain is still my brain. Hyperfocus, burnout, executive dysfunction, and everything that goes in between are just still present. I used to think that there was something wrong with me because I didn't enjoy the holiday season as much as everyone else, but as it turns out, it's ADHD. It's not that I don't like the holidays, I just don't like being overstimulated. I tend to go through two stages that I notice anyway. One that I like to call my manic stage, and one that I like to call my burnout stage. In my manic stage, I am on it. Everything that needs done gets done, and the dopamine is so high during this stage that I can go for months being productive. I can also literally do 20 hours worth of work in about 4 hours. This stage is almost supernatural because it's my superpower stage. All of my socials do well because I want to post, I want to make things, and I want to do well in every aspect of my life. I'm cleaning, keeping things organized, feeling mostly happy and productive. I'm very much like the Energizer Bunny. I just keep going and going until the batteries do, in fact, finally die, and then I sink into a burnout or my resting stage. I often like to compare my manic stage to the story The Tortoise and the Hare. The hare is almost manic throughout the whole story, and then he gets burnt out, and then he has to rest, so he stops and takes a nap. And while he rests, the tortoise, with his slow and steady pace, ends up winning. I very desperately want to be the tortoise in this scenario because he is calm and disciplined. You do a little at a time in a calm, collected manner, and then you get to where you want to go because you work at it in small chunks at a time, keeping burnout at bay. When you're as manic as the hare in this story, burnout is inevitable. When I'm in my burnout stage, I tend to really miss the hyper-focused period that I go through in my manic stage. It feels very good to make things and be inspired constantly during that time. Afterwards, though, the burnout always comes creeping in, and that's where I'm at currently. I haven't drawn or painted anything since October. I have, however, been reading a lot, and I have been crocheting a little bit because that's what's giving me the dopamine I need right now. Which is definitely not a bad thing, but when you have a small art business and all you hear are tips about posting consistently on apps that drain your energy, it gets a little overwhelming, especially when your brain works like mine. The only thing I'm consistent at is being inconsistent, which makes it very hard to build trust with your audience. I find it very hard to focus on things that I don't want to do. Editing and admin are my least favorite parts of my job, and they tend to take energy away from the creative things that I really want to do. It's hard to balance these, and it's disconcerting when this is the only job I want, especially when other artists online make it seem so easy to get a painting done and a video out every week. Sometimes seeing how well everyone else is doing puts me in this state of overwhelm. Burnout happens, and then that puts me in a executive dysfunction and analysis paralysis type of state in my burnout stage. This is where I really like to self-sabotage, and I like to talk myself out of a lot of fun things that I wanted to try. Eventually, though, something will give me a hit of dopamine. And then the cycle begins again. And now I would like to share a word from the sponsor of today's video, which is myself, because I thought now might be a really great time to tell you that I have extended the holiday sale in my shop for another week. So just about everything in my shop is on sale till January 3rd. So if there was something you had your eye on, now might be a great time to grab it. And now, back to the video. So I'm trying to slow down my racing thoughts and really figure out how to run this business by working with my brain instead of against it. I have found a few books and podcasts that I'm looking into for more help with my ADHD. I tend to have a bunch of ideas I get really excited about, but once I write them down, the dopamine goes away and I have no interest in them anymore, which is unfortunate. Who knows how many videos I've planned that you guys would have liked that have been lost to the way that my brain works. I find myself in a constant state of indecision and I'm unable to take action, which I have discovered is actually a result of my ADHD. Who knew? I am sure you guys can visually see the evidence by how and when I post. I can also tell that when I tell you guys about things that I'm excited about doing and filming, that after it's out of my mouth, the interest and the dopamine is just gone. And then I struggle to complete the project because the excitement is no longer there. And I feel like a very good example of this is the magical shit zine thing that I did, and it took me 3 years to finish one Inktober project. And I do feel like that's my ADHD. And I do kind of like award a lot of the success from actually finishing the magical shit project to the supplements I've been taking and the fact that they actually do help me finish things and focus and complete things that I started off really excited about that I kind of lost interest through the project with. So it's very hard to kind of have that steady level of dopamine to get a project that you were once really excited about to completion. With the new year coming, my only goal is to heal my relationship with creativity. And I'd also like to find a way to work with my brain instead of against it and allow myself or plan ahead for the breaks that I will definitely need with the 2 stages I tend to go through. like a very low and slow type of energy will be coming into the new year with me as I set out on a journey to find myself through art and the other things that I love. I have been watching a lot of slow living videos, and that lifestyle just really seems to register with me. Which leads me into two questions that I have for you guys. Firstly, what are your goals for 2025? And secondly, I am curious to know if any of you are creatives with ADHD. Maybe we can start a club, make t-shirts and all that. Definitely let me know in the comments. I am wishing you all a wonderful holiday season. Thank you so much for being here. You've made 2024 an amazing year, and I will see you in 2025.